E questa è Tianjin, una città che io amo molto e dove io voglio lavorare e vivere. Questa è la Cina, questo è il luogo in cui io amo stare. Since 2004, I live constantly in China. I find a good environment here for life and for work. So I spend almost of my productive life here in this country.
Most teachers and students of Tianjin University know about the Italian professor who has been with the School of Architecture for 16 years. After the outbreak of the epidemic, Professor Genovese also contributed to its containment by donating medical supplies.
Basically, I consider China like my second hometown. So I never decide which one is the most important for me, if Italy or China, but I put at the same level both of my countries.
Out of this love for China and his country, Italy, Professor Genovese donated medical materials to China in the early stage of the epidemic and then assisted Italy with Chinese universities. With China now having achieved containment of the epidemic in stages, the professor has shifted his focus to online teaching.
And recently I also opened a new class for artificial intelligence and architecture. It is one of the first online course in this field. My work in Tianjin University is very various. Since the very beginning I started to teach bionic approach, which it means study the natural process and apply into the architecture. Or I also teach restoration of ancient architecture and the restoration of ancient city and ancient town.
In his opinion, instead of just learning things in the classroom, putting the knowledge into practice is much more important for architecture students. He and his team once restored and designed Jingyuan, the former residence of Puyi, the last emperor of the Qing dynasty in Tianjin.
We arrived in Jingyuan. This building is, for me, particularly dear because it was the cooperation in between Tianjin Municipality, the School of Architecture of Tianjin University, and Polytechnic of Milan, for trying to find the best way to restore the building. And it was a very complex work. At the beginning the situation was not very good because many families live inside, over 100 people. And then after the restoration they create a very nice museum, which is one of the proud of Tianjin city.
He and his team have engaged in restoring ancient buildings in Tianjin, which has undoubtedly deepened his love for the city. Due to the way he loves it, in his eyes, every change in the city in the past 16 years is worth remembering and praising.
Tianjin changed really a lot because when I arrived for the first time in 2004 in this city, the local life was really original, the flavor was very strong. For example, the local people love very much fishing during the winter, so they have a hole in the ice and they fish. Now it's less active, and also the people like to swim in the river, and now a little bit less because the life become much more comfortable.